I am with the August edition of the Monthly Momentum, and this is part of my blog, or at this point we'll call it a vlog. Once a month I'm going to interview someone here in Murfreesboro or Middle Tennessee in general, and just talk to them about what drives them in their business, what made them want to get into business in the first place, and what keeps them going at it, what keeps them sharp. And so I am talking to the ever classy Takisha Bromell,
yes.
a friend of mine for a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the business GirlFriday.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the name.
Okay.
I got to know, what the heck is with the frog?
I'm saying.
I got to, what's with the frog? I love the frog. It's good. It's great. I just got to find out, there's a story to that. And I got to find out what that is.
Yes.
And we're going to find out kind of what makes you tick. But I remember it was over a year ago,
mm-hmm.
you and I were at a networking event
mm-hmm.
at a restaurant. And after the networking, you said, Blaine, I gotta talk to you. Let's sit down at this booth.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm going. And you were talking about all this. I want to take on all the paperwork problems for everyone else in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And because I'm your friend, I was like,
yeah,
right. And inside my skin was just crawling. I'm like, oh my God, no way, I could do that. But tell us about, what is GirlFriday? What exactly do you do?
Well, GirlFriday is, I would say, is I call it a labor of love. But everybody has a personality,
mm-hmm.
and their personality, if you are more of a CEO or a salesperson, your personality, you get your energy from people.
Okay.
And then you have people on the, I call it on the Myers-Briggs and also the DISC profile. On the other side of that is a person who's more analytical. They like to see things organized, put together, and so they're more on the type C personality. So usually you're one or the other. You get your energy from paperwork and processes and procedures, or on the other side, you get it from connecting with people and kissing the babies, politicians. You're probably one of those. You are one of those people.
No, I don't know. I'm kind of an introvert. I was kept in the closet till I was 5. So
well,
that's tempered my life.
And you would never think that the two of us are introverts, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Because we know how to play it off well. We have learned how the skill of being able to communicate with people and everything. But in the very beginning, it wasn't like that. Yeah. So if you go back to that, you're either usually one or the other. And wherever you get your energy from is kind of like where you need to be focused on. So if you're an I personality and you love connecting with people, love getting out, the worst thing that you can do, the buzzkill in your life, is getting behind the computer. Yeah. And so GirlFriday came from that thought process that as I talked to hundreds of real estate agents and also other business people, one of the things that they always said to me was that they were missing a few structures in their business. Okay. They were either having issues with staying on top of mind with their customers, connecting with them, and so we do CRM work to create campaigns and things like that. Okay. The other part of it was the back office paperwork and getting that done. So we have executive assistant network that we handle and work with. And so we have people that use us for scheduling, planning, and all that type of stuff. And then we do, one of my favorites is the outsourced COO stuff. Okay. And what that is basically is where I call it my hat is, and that's creating processes and procedures for businesses. Like you're growing, you're over capacity, and now you need.
Is it implementing a system?
That's right, implementing systems that make you more efficient. Yeah. Also looking at resources that you need to have in place as you grow and expand your business. We do that, and then the last thing is social media. We help.
I didn't know you did that.
Yes. See, so we help businesses in their social media and helping them find their voice. It is noisy out there out there, and so how do you distinguish your voice from anyone else? Okay. You have to stay true to yourself. You have to find out who you are, and then you can share that with everyone else.
Okay, good. Well, I was speaking to someone yesterday about the fact that we have to remind ourselves that if we're in business, if we're in sales or independent business owners, then we have to be more relationship centered rather than transaction based. But if you have an entrepreneur out there, their biggest asset is meeting people, finding new business, bringing business in, connecting with others. And the more paperwork that they have to fill out or the more computer work they have to do, it's really robbing them of that time to be able to do that. You told me a month ago, I had heard for the first time, you have a master's in what is it, project
management? Yes.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. You know, in the 90s, a project management team was a team of managers working on a project, and that's not it. Now you've got frontline employees collaborating with people in other departments, and really not necessarily the final decision maker, but bring in the solutions to leadership, which just 20, 30 years ago was completely unheard of. You weren't qualified to do that, but now I didn't know you could get a master's.
Well, you know, Keller Graduate School, which is a part of DeVry. I used to live in Atlanta. And I kind of stumbled into project management and fell in love with it. I guess I always had like organizing things and planning things was always a part of my DNA. But I started working for a firm in Atlanta, and that firm was a project management type. They did commercial real estate, but projects and things like that. And it's just kind of like from there, it just rang true. And then I said, I'm going to find a school, and I didn't even know there was a school out there that had it, and it was right there. Right there, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so the stars just lined up, and
stars aligned.
And well, what or who was instrumental in you getting started with this your own? It's not a franchise, but it just as an entrepreneur with GirlFriday. What was it that finally clinched it for you? This is what I've got to do.
You know, so this was about 2 years ago. This is a little bit. This is like maybe I started about maybe 4 or 5 months into kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. Again, I was interviewing and talking to and coaching a lot of business owners in this area, and asking them what their missing structures were. So when they told me that over and over again, I knew that there was a need. But was I the person to fill that need? You know, and so I went.
Just a recurring theme from all of these people. A recurring theme
from everyone that I would talk to. So what I did was I said, okay, I think it was going to be named something totally different. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to just ask a couple of people what they thought. So at first, it was going to be heavily on the real estate side.
All right.
It was going to be like maybe doing some of their contract to close work and things like that. So I went to some brokers in the area and talked to them and said, okay, you know me, because they were in the coaching program as well. And I talked to them and said, hey, I am interested in thinking about this. Is this a good fit for me? What do you think? And all of them said yes. But when I would leave from out of their office, they would give me more information. So Christy Wilson from the Wilson Group. And I'm giving shout outs now. Thank you, Christy. And Laura Dahl from Music City Real Estate or something like that. She helped. And so I went to person, and they kept saying yes. And I think Laura Dahl said to me, she said, Takisha, is bigger than just real estate. The need for office paperwork is bigger than that. Don't pigeonhole yourself to just real estate. Really think outside of the box, because everyone needs an assistant. Everyone needs someone that they can count on to get the paperwork done and do it efficiently and in excellence, right? So after that, I left and I went to my aunt and uncle. They're millionaires as well as entrepreneurs. And then I went to Edwin McKnight. I went to like at least 6 people that I knew had been in business for years. And I asked them, I really honestly wanted them to tell me, go home, sit somewhere. This is not a great idea. And every last one of them affirmed me and said, you can do this, run and do it, and don't stop. This is a great idea. But I always left with something, like with Edwin. He gave me like the financial picture. Edwin McKnight. He gave me the financial picture. You know, he's the financial person, so he gave me the financial picture, and then I left from someone else, and they gave me something else. It was always something else to add to it.
Now, how did you come up with the name GirlFriday? I think I know the reference, but what
Yes. I was meeting with Edwin, and we had lunch, and I was talking to him about the business, and he said, well, you know, he was talking to his assistant, and he said, I was talking to my assistant the other day, and I was asking her, did she need a Girl Friday? And I'm like, what is a Girl Friday? Like, what is that? And he was like, that was a movie back in the day. It's a, you know,
Cary Grant.
Yes, and this is so he told me about it and everything, and I said, well, I'm gonna have to go and see that. And then I started it sprung from that. It was like, oh my goodness, that's it. Let me go and watch this movie. Which the movie to me was kind of like a teeny bit off center, because it didn't really speak completely to a Girl Friday, but she was a Girl Friday. I mean, or whatever. So being in the background, being able to help,
so she was just a part-time assistant as she was kind of needed.
Yes, right.
For that particular particular businessman.
Yeah.
And
I think it was like a newspaper or something like that or whatever. But anyway, it was just like, okay, that's exactly who we are. And that's who I am. What
challenges did you have in getting your business initially up and running? And you've been about a year and a half now?
It's a year and a half, yes.
Yeah, wow. Okay. So the first few months when you've got a staff, but the first few months, what were some of the challenges that you had to overcome to get things going?
You know, the biggest one was myself. Like, you know,
really?
you first of all, you think that everything that you need is money related. And it's not necessarily, although you do need you need some money in order to run a business. But when you're starting a virtual assistant type business, a lot of the things that you feel like you need, you really don't need. So I'm very thankful that I'm very thankful that I've kind of been like tried and true on this. And what I mean by that is that I had to kind of like financially, you know, take the step and go with not having a whole bunch of money up front. You know what I'm saying? And so just the challenges I thought were big challenges ended up not necessarily being them. You know, I thought that I needed all this money in order to start. I wonder if I would have wasted all of that money. And by not having it, it allowed me to be very smart about what I was doing and everything, and just making sure that I had the processes and procedures in place and all that kind of stuff. I would also say that, when I say that it was money, then on the other side was myself. Like, could I really do this? I believe every month for the first 6 months, I questioned myself every month. Was I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to be doing this? It didn't jump. It didn't jump off exactly how I thought it would do. I thought it was going to be. It would move faster. And it moved in the pace that it needed to. But I wanted more because I am a type A personality. I want it now.
I want to ask you about that. It moved in the pace that it needed to. Explain that. At what pace was it going, and why, looking back on it, did it need to move at that pace?
Because when you start a business, you start out with these ideas of what you think the business is going to be. And it never really is exactly how you think. So by the time you get to your first year, you probably have changed your business plan at least 1,000 times. You also have to not only change your business plan, but you change your offerings to kind of, as business comes in, you become more flexible about the business and all of that. And so I think the reason why I say that is because the pace that I needed to, because I needed to get to a place of understanding what people really wanted, how they wanted to see it. I had everything was more custom. Like, okay, I would talk to you, you would tell me what you need, I would create custom. And I realized that people wanted to see price. I mean, that was one of the things that they wanted to see. They wanted to see things. So through the process, I kind of learned how to kind of like look at the business and see it in a different way. And that couldn't have happened if it would have started right away.
So the business grew, and the business, it sounds like maybe even the business grew you.
The business, it absolutely did.
Okay.
It absolutely grew me in a way that I never thought possible. It increased my faith. It increased my faith in God, but it also increased my faith in myself. That I could absolutely do this. I stopped at some point, I don't know when, I stopped questioning or trying to figure out if I was supposed to do it.
Okay.
I'm in it. I'm doing it. And so I realized that it was a part of my course and what I was supposed to be doing. And I needed to stop asking myself over and over again, are you a crazy girl? What in the world are you doing? Have you lost your ever-loving mind here? No. There is purpose in this. And
Who are your typical customers or clients? Do you refer to them as customers or clients? Patients?
It could be. It probably are. They are patients after all. It's so crazy. I have a smorgasbord of different things, and that's so amazing to me. I think that I need that, though. The type of personality that I am, I need to have multiple things going on to get into my creativity. So it could be from Greenhouse Ministries. I do work for them, for their CEO, right? I have a number of real estate agents that I do.
I see a lot of familiar names up there. And we talked about that's kind of what you originally envisioned was in real estate. So are there any other industries in particular, or just individual mom and pop retail shops, or
not mom and pop retail shops, but for sure a lot of small businesses. And then I'm also finding that there are some executives that are in businesses where their company may not pay for an assistant, but they are wise in saying that they need that type of support, right? And so some of those people on the board are in the executive assistant network, and they don't necessarily own a business, but they are executives or CEOs in a business, or maybe not CEOs, but they're executives in a business.
That's a big deal, because now with all these different workplaces, workspaces, whatever you want to call them, these rental offices, and they'll send someone who is either a high-level sales representative or someone perhaps even in management, like a regional manager, and they won't necessarily furnish, they might either furnish an office, but there's no staff.
There's no staff.
Or you just work out of one of these workspaces, and there's not a full-time assistant, so it makes sense that you're providing that service. Business to business, what's the greatest service that you provide? If you could narrow it down to one or two words.
Balance. And the reason why and balance, and I would say purpose. These are two different words, but what I want to do and what I've been doing and how I help the business owner is by creating balance in their lives so they can go home and rest assured that things are going to get done. That they can go home and spend time with their kids and know that is taken care of. So that's number one. The other thing is I feel like I help them with their purpose. Whatever they're doing, they're trying to get out there and do it well. And so by helping them and creating that support system for them and that foundation for them, again, they can go out and be great. They can be what God has called them to do. So purpose and balance is what we do the best at.
That's perfect. I love that answer. And what advice would you give a small business owner? Someone who is just thinking about getting into whatever it was, because I mean, what you just kind of started this. I don't know if you had a mentor that kind of showed you this is how you do this. Takisha, but what advice would you give someone else who's starting their own business?
You definitely want to have a good accountant. Holloway Accounting Services, Ashley Holloway, amazing. You also want to, and they can help you identify or make sure that you choose the right type of business. If you're going to be an LLC or a corporation or whatever, you need to know what that is. And an accountant, lawyer, someone would be able to help you with that.
Okay.
Number two, I would say is making sure that you have your business plan together. Although your business plan will change over time, probably multiple times, you have to have vision first.
Okay.
And then I would say number three is have a support system. Like the people that I went to were instrumental. Like I had about 5 or 6 people, maybe more than that I went to before I started the business. And those people are people I can go to today and say, here's what, when you have, I had multiple mentors. I didn't just have one person that was a mentor to me. All of those people I could go to today and say, I'm having this issue, or I need this, or maybe not need this, but I am experiencing this. And because they are wise and they have wisdom and they have been in business for years, they come to me with information that is critical for my business. And so you have to have people around you who know more than you do.
Okay. That's important. That is huge. That's key.
Yes.
And I've got to ask you, what's with the frog? That's your logo. That's your logo mascot. What's with the frog?
Well, there was this saying in this book, and the book was talking about eat your frogs early, I think, or something like
Brian
that.
Tracy, eat that frog.
Eat that frog.
Okay.
And it talks about eating the frog early, and it's talking about their procrastination, like all the things, your distractions, all the things that stop you from doing that represents the frog. And so our little slogan at the bottom says, we will swallow the I can't remember, but we'll swallow the frogs that you want or whatever. And basically it's just saying that the frog represents that thing that stops you from doing whatever you're supposed to be doing. And so that's where the frog comes from.
Okay. Old Mark Twain reference.
Yeah.
That Brian Tracy made a lot of money on.
Yes.
So
I didn't know that was from Mark Twain, so you're telling me something I didn't know. Okay, yeah.
As a business person, finally, as a business person, what gives you momentum? What keeps you going?
I would say my faith. Like there's no way that I could do what I do, continue to do it. Because let me tell you something, business is not easy. It is hard. It is every day being selfless and pushing yourself beyond what you feel like you can do. Okay. It's sometimes hurtful. Sometimes, the people that you started with are not the people that you continue to go with. Okay. You have people that decide not to work with you. Or whatever. There's so many things that you could beat yourself up on. Yeah. And it is easy to beat yourself up on. And so it is truly a labor of love, but it's growing thick skin. Yep. And so the momentum comes from believing that this is bigger than me. Okay. That I'm doing this for people to give them balance and to give them to help them in their purpose.
Awesome. Well, I love it, and I know you're going to be a huge success. Decade, 2 decades from now.
Yes. Well, no, not 2.
I'm proud of. Oh, you're going to be in Hawaii.
I'm going to be in Hawaii somewhere in two decades.
See, it's part of our business plan. So we'll see how it goes.
It is.
All right. Well, very good. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for joining us this month with Takisha Bromell of GirlFriday. Have a great month.
Bye.